Hello, hello, hello. It's KP Carter, the Literacy Whisperer. Happy Black History Month. Now, we know that Black History Month is just a way for us to highlight things just for the month of February. But we celebrate Black history all throughout the year. That's a message that I wrote about in my recent newsletter, that when I was in the classroom, we talked about Black history every single month throughout the year. I infused it into my curriculum. But, it's time to just shine a special spotlight on. Hello, beautiful. Thank you for joining. Hello, hello. Thank you for being here with me. And, I just want to say I am so grateful for all of my supporters and followers. I really appreciate you. You have no idea how much it means to me as an educator, as a small business owner, as a Black children's author. I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, so now, today, beginning of Black History Month, and it's also World Read Aloud. I have to read this and make sure I get this right. It's World Read Aloud Day. Yes, this is a day that was started by Lit World to talk about the importance of reading aloud. And that's one of my 10 steps to reading success tips for parents, that reading aloud to children is magical, and it doesn't stop when they are little. You can read aloud with your child no matter what age they are. So, in celebration of Black History Month and in celebration of World Read Aloud Day, I'm going to do some reading from my book, Summertime with Lizzie B. Hayes. I am the author of the Lizzie B. Hayes series. Summertime with Lizzie B. Hayes is book 1 in the series. This is the second edition. And Lizzie B. Hayes and the Great Camp Caper is book 2. And right now, I am working on book 3. Yes, Lizzie B. Hayes and the 7th Grade Secret. So tonight, I am going to read just a little bit of Summertime with Lizzie B. Hayes, second edition. This book, if you don't know already, it is historical fiction about growing up in Newark, New Jersey during the 1960s. Very important time period in our nation's history. And it follows a lovable, she's just my heart, Lizzie B. is. Lovable 8-year-old Lizzie B. And, let me get a little sip of water. Throat is a little dry. I want to be able to read. Have my lemon water here. So 8-year-old Lizzie and three generations of her colorful family. And I wrote it to help children be able to manage their emotions and deal with family dynamics. Lizzie B. she lives with an extended family, and her parents are divorced. And I want to teach children about this time period. Let me read the back cover to you. 8-year-old Lizzie B. Hayes, along with her cousins, Shushu and Mookie, can't wait to kick off their summer of nonstop fun with all the other kids in Newark, New Jersey. Always wanting to be the center of attention, Lizzie has several tricks up her sleeves to guarantee that all eyes are on her. But this summer is different. Just as Lizzie gears up for a summer filled with jump rope contests, shooting hoops, and trips to the local library, and of course, roller skating at breakneck speeds, she begins to hear rumors of trouble brewing in her city. And to make matters worse, Lizzie's father plans to take her on a 2-week vacation down South Philadelphia, that is. And now she's faced with leaving everyone she loves for the first time. This book is very special to me. Well, all are special to me, but this one is because I grew up during this time in Newark, New Jersey. Yes, I grew up in Newark. I was born in Brooklyn, but I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, and I loved it. Chapter 1, Cod Liver Oil. Yuck. Have you ever tasted cod liver oil? It's a slimy, fish-smelling medicine that grown-ups tell you will knock the cold right out of you. Grandmommy pumped cod liver oil into us every morning from November through the end of March. Last March, I turned 8. But here it is, the first day of summer vacation, and I had to take some of that disgusting stuff because I have been coughing and sneezing and feeling really lousy. A cold was trying to catch me. So I wrinkled my nose, squinted my eyes, and squeezed my lips, and only a managed to escape. And here is a picture of Lizzie and Grandmommy giving her that yucky cod liver oil. Just as the spoon touched my lips, I heaved and bucked and made my eyes roll back, and splat! The cod liver oil went all over the bathroom mirror. Grandmommy frowned, shook her head, and slowly and steadily poured another spoonful. Lizzie, if you want to go with your daddy on Wednesday, you'll take this medicine and you'll keep it down, Grandmommy warned. A little part of me wanted to go with my daddy, but I wasn't so sure that I wanted to spend a few days away from everybody I knew because so much fun happened in the neighborhood during the summer. Skating, blowing bubbles, shooting hoops, and jumping rope. When I was just a baby about 3 months old, my mommy left my daddy in Brooklyn, New York to come back to her mother's house in Newark, New Jersey. And on that rainy Saturday afternoon, we brought all of our things with us, mostly just clothes. Family members whispered that Daddy had stopped paying attention to Mommy, or whatever happens when grown-ups don't get along anymore. We lived on Chadwick Court with Grandmommy, Granddaddy, and my 2 cousins, Shushu and Mookie. Shushu was 13 years old, and she was just starting to become boy crazy. And Mookie, he was 12. Soon, Mommy found an apartment not too far away, and since Grandmommy took care of me during the day while Mommy worked, I guess it was just easier for me to stay at Grandmommy's house Monday through Friday and spend weekends with Mommy. Well, that's what I found out when I got older. I can still hear Grandmommy talk about the day Mommy returned to Newark from Brooklyn. My sweet grandbaby Lizzie, she's so small, she fits right on the pillow. I overheard this story 1,000 times, or maybe I remember the day that it happened. Then, when I was about 2 and a half, my daddy mailed some papers for my mommy to sign, and other family members whispered that she wouldn't do it. Later, I found out that they were divorce papers, and one day, he called on Grandmommy's black shiny dial-up phone. I hid behind Grandmommy's chair and held onto the back and listened. Mommy cried into the phone, "But Dee, can't we work it out?" I could tell that my daddy was saying no on the other end of the phone because of that look on my mommy's face. Her face became blurry through my tears. So that's how Summertime with Lizzie B. Hayes' second edition starts off. I'm going to read another chapter to you, but before I do, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Please share. I know there are some children out there who would love to hear about Summertime with Lizzie B. Hayes' second edition, and I bet their parents would like to know about it as well if they're looking for good books to share with their children during Black History Month and every month of the year. So I'm going to share with a few of my friends, and I want you to do the same thing. Please share, share, share. Share, share, share. Yes. And now, Let's take a look at chapter 3. The day I got the news. The summer I turned 8, Mommy and Daddy decided it was time for me to spend more time with Daddy at his house in Brooklyn. So off I went to Albany Avenue every other weekend to visit. My daddy treated me like a princess. I got everything I wanted, and we always ate the best food because next to Grandmommy, he was the best cook in the whole world. He made fried chicken, corn on the cob, macaroni and cheese. Sometimes we would eat out at restaurants, and sometimes we would eat at one of his stinky girlfriend's houses. Daddy always talked about his family down south, South Philadelphia that is, and how one day he wanted me to meet them. Something told me that day was going to be soon. I loved my daddy, but deep down inside, a part of me wanted to do what I did every single summer. Stay at home in Newark. I guess I shouldn't have been surprised that day when he said, "Guess what? In July, I'm taking you to meet your grandparents and your aunt. Your great-grandparents they are, and your great-aunt. They're my grandparents," Daddy said. "You'll be spending 2 weeks down south with them." "Are you staying too?" "No, I have to work. It'll just be you and your great-grandparents and your great-aunt." Well, usually, I had a lot to say. That's why every marking period, my teacher wrote in my report card, "Lizzie works hard, but she needs to control her mouth." But that day, I didn't know what to say. I felt like a piece of burnt toast was stuck in my throat. All the saliva just sucked away, and I didn't know what to say. I couldn't say anything if I tried. What did Mommy think? Did she agree with Daddy? And what about Grandmommy? I wondered if Daddy asked her if it was okay. Summertime went. It meant skating at breakneck speeds and playing in the street when the cars weren't coming. So much fun in summertime. Oh my goodness. I was playing out back with Shushu and Mookie, and we would swing so high that we almost went over the top bar of the swing set. Summertime also meant skating at breakneck speeds and scooping up jacks on the smooth black and white linoleum floor and racing up the street to play 1, 2, 3, red light. So, there's one more chapter I want to share, but before I share that, I'm going to share out with a few more of my friends and see if they will join me. And I want you to do the same thing. Join me. Come on in. As they say, come on in. The water's fine. So, okay. This is the last chapter I'm going to read today. Chapter 13. No, not in my hometown. Now, before I read this chapter, I want to share with you that before Lizzie went with her father down south, South Philadelphia that is, to see her great-grandparents and her great-aunt, she heard rumors of trouble brewing in her neighborhood. She didn't quite know what to make of it. And, she would listen to what the adults were saying, but she couldn't really understand everything. Back then, you didn't really interrupt adults or ask a lot of questions. You had to just kind of pick up bits and pieces of what was really going on. So now she's in Philadelphia, and it's the third day that she's there. The fish market on the corner of Hickory and South Street opened at 11 o'clock in the morning. 3 days after I arrived in Philadelphia, Nana Vic and I got ready to walk down to Fred's Fish Market. Ring! The doorbell startled me. It was the postman with a letter addressed to Victoria Robinson, Nana Vic's real name. My name, Lizzie B. Hayes, was underneath. I remembered that just before Shushu got in the car with Daddy to go back to Newark, she whispered, "Look for a letter from me in a few days. I have to keep you in the know with what's going on in the neighborhood while you're gone." She kept her word. She really cared. "Hurry up and read it," Nanovic said, handing the letter to me. "I need to get my purse and we'll leave as soon as you're finished." I couldn't wait to read it. I ripped the envelope open, thinking that Shushu was trying to tell me about the latest jump rope contest or that Grandmommy had let her go to the Prince Street block party with Mookie the bodyguard. "Dear Lizzie," the letter started. Shushu never called me dear anything. "Dear Lizzie, you better not tell anybody I told you. Everybody is really upset and nobody wants you to know what's going on here. Last night the whole family had to hide under the kitchen table for an hour. There's something going on in the neighborhood and we're scared to death and nobody is really telling us kids what's going on, but I wanted to write you and let you know." So, I hope you enjoyed hearing some chapters from Summertime with Lizzie Behaves second edition for World Read Aloud Day and for day 1 of Black History Month. And until next time, until next time, I wish you love, laughter, and literacy. Bye.